Yeah, Baruch Levi, be here from the Defiant Spirit. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to keep this one brief. It's not a traditional podcast or video. I just want to share with you something I'm focused on right now. I've been working with a lot of guys who want tools. They just keep saying, literally, they keep saying, I want tools, I want tools, I want tools. I come from the counseling therapeutic world where it's a lot less tool focused than coaching. However, over the past 3-4 years, I've really been morphing my work into seeing myself as much of a meaning coach as a meaning therapist. And the coach piece of me has been focused on delivering tools. And yet I haven't had a place to hang those tools. I got tons, drawing from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, and my experience over the past quarter century practicing Buddhist mindfulness meditation practice, and certainly the Enneagram has tons and tons of tools. And then my work as a logotherapist, the work of Viktor Frankl. So I have the tools, and I've used them on a daily way with my people in general, but guys in particular, they seem to want the tools most of all. So I've decided to create the tool shed. And as I've been exploring this, creating a virtual tool shed, I'd be happy to have one at my house. I don't have a backyard big enough for a shed, though I look forward to that someday. But I do have a virtual backyard, and I'll be housing it on probably Thinkific, where I house all my programs, and I'll make it available to any of my people, any of you, my meaning tribe, who want to come into the shed and check out tools. And so there'll be meditations in there, and there will be written exercises, and there will be guided visualizations, and there will be the practical tools that I have talked about in many places before. I just did a podcast on a tool, fundamental tool in my shed that I am writing a book around right now called Mirror Moments. And so I'll be putting, the mirror moments in there, and the closed fist, open palm tool, and the 99% tool. All of these will be in there. So you have one place, one-stop shop to go in to check it out. And I was doing a little research, thinking about what to call this place or this space. So I call it the man cave. I'm starting men's groups and a men's movement of sorts. I'm writing a book around it. Do I call it the learning library? But we're using that for the Meaning Academy. So I didn't want to sort of like cross wires. Calling it the shed, the tool shed. Why? I started to research the word shed. Did you know this? I didn't know this. Comes from the word that it sounds like, shade. A shed is a place of shade where you go, and there's a shade there. And of course, you keep your tools in there, but if you start thinking about, especially as a man, these places tend to be darker. I mean, you think about a bar, think about a man cave, you think about a basement, a garage, a tool shed. There's a darker quality to it. And I've really been thinking a lot about this because, especially for you men, the work that I do is oftentimes shadow work. It's going into those shadier places where the sun don't shine quite as readily in our lives. We as men especially have all these quote unquote acquaintances or friends even, but we don't talk about the shadier stuff, the darker stuff, the stuff that feels like sometimes it's off limits to talk about. And so we need a place and we need a space to go have those conversations, but also to go spend some time by ourselves to explore using these tools in our lives. And so that's really what the tool shed is. It's a place where we illuminate the darkness. My last book, Spark Seekers, was all about this from a place of mourning, grief, loss. It doesn't have to be just the death of a loved one. It can be, but it can be all kinds of life's teas, transitions, tests, trials, traumas, tragedies. It can be periods of darkness when we're going through our life and we're just sort of unknown professionally or in our marriages or in who we are as a man. Or it doesn't even have to be dark. Shadows, it's not always like dark and tragic. It can just be not bright, not clear, not obvious. And we need to take a little bit of refuge in this space, in this place, in this tool shed. And that's what I'm going to be offering you. So stick around, stay tuned. And if you're interested in tools, you'll feel free to come check out a tool. They'll be neatly hung up, just like in your shed, in my tool shed. So again, stay tuned for that and keep checking back in, and you'll be on the lookout for weekly. I'm going to try and drop a different tool every week in conjunction with my podcasts. And various other medium that I'm putting out there. So until then, defy your number and live your spirit, and I will see you in the tool shed.